I closed a $10 million deal and handed the cash bag to my wife for the night. The next morning, I was stunned to discover she had disappeared, phones off, leaving behind a note. "Thanks for the cash. I'm starting fresh with my boyfriend. Good luck rebuilding from zero." I couldn't stop laughing, because the bag she took was actually the vanishing trick. Sealing a $10 million agreement feels like reaching the peak of success. I had pursued it for months, moving between cities, sealing deals, enduring tough talks, and endless late nights. It wasn't merely work, it was my whole world. Years of hard effort finally paying dividends. The final contract was signed at exactly 7:42 p.m. I remember checking my Rolex and grinning, thinking this would be a moment I'd cherish forever. I had no idea how true that would prove, just not in the way I imagined. I carried home the signed papers and what the client called the victory handover, a fancy leather duffel bag stuffed with display money. Of course, it wasn't the real funds. Those were transferred electronically, all legitimate. But the client loved the theatrics and wanted me to experience the tangible weight of victory. When I arrived home that evening, tired yet thrilled, my wife Ria greeted me in elegant silk pajamas, holding a glass of wine. She smiled as I placed the bag down. "What's that?" she asked. I kissed her forehead. "A trophy, $10 million worth of proof. The deal is complete." Her eyes lit up with excitement. "Is it actual cash?" she wondered. "Sort of," I laughed. "It's symbolic, all for show, filled with counterfeit notes. The genuine money is safely in escrow, moving Monday morning." She laughed along, but her fingers stayed on the bag. "You trust me with it?" she teased. I shrugged. "Why wouldn't I? You're my wife." Ria gave a sweet yet sharp smile. "I'll store it safely in the closet tonight," she said, "just to be careful." I nodded, gave her a good night kiss, and fell into deep sleep. When I woke up, she had vanished. Her wardrobe was empty, closet cleared out, phones turned off, and the money bag gone. On the kitchen counter, where her usual morning coffee cup would sit, was one folded note. "Thanks for the money, babe. I'm starting fresh with my boyfriend. Good luck building from scratch. Ria." I stared at it for a while. Then I burst into laughter, a deep, genuine laugh that filled the entire kitchen, because the bag she stole was packed with stacks of high-quality fake bills. And a hidden GPS tracker. The bag of deception. Ria believed she was brilliant. She must have waited until I was sound asleep, quietly crept to the closet, snatched the bag, and slipped away into the darkness like a character from a slick heist movie. I pictured her smirking as she shut the door, thinking, "He'll never expect this." And she was right about one part. I didn't see the betrayal coming, but she never saw what I had prepared in advance. You see, I don't just handle money, I manage risks. I deal with con artists in business attire and treachery hidden behind friendly faces. Deep inside, a cautious voice had always warned me that if I ever relaxed too much, I could lose it all. So months earlier, during the initial contract discussions, I had arranged for a special bag to be created. It looked identical to the real one. But it was loaded with premium replica currency, ideal for dramatic presentations. And hidden in the bottom lining was a GPS tracker cleverly disguised as a stitched emblem. Not just for theft protection, it was my safety net. I sat at my home office desk and launched the tracking application. There it was, moving south at 68 miles per hour along Highway 17. And I wasn't only tracking the bag. I opened my laptop and pulled up the cloud security camera recordings. At 2:17 a.m., Ria in a hoodie and leggings sneaking out the front door. At 2:19 a.m., she paused to kiss someone. The image was blurry, but clearly a tall, unkempt man with a cocky expression. His name was Darren, my former gym acquaintance. The same guy who used to join us for game nights. The one who always stayed a bit too long whenever Ria laughed at his stories. I zoomed in on the footage, pausing at the moment they carried the bag together into his vehicle. And then I smiled again, because I knew precisely where they were going. By 3:31 a.m., they had reached Darren's modest rental cabin on the edge of town. It wasn't impressive, but to them it probably felt like the beginning of their rich new life. They likely lit candles, opened a bottle of the stolen champagne, and maybe played music as they excitedly opened the bag, expecting neat piles of real money. Instead, they found worthless fake notes. Nothing of value, just paper. My phone rang, blocked number. I answered on speaker while calmly sipping my coffee as if it were any normal day. "John," Ria's voice snapped, struggling to stay calm. "What is this?" "Good morning, darling," I replied cheerfully. "Camping in the woods already? You gave me fake money." "No, Ria, you stole fake money." "Big difference." "You planned this," she hissed. "Absolutely," I said smoothly. "I'm a strategist. And I once told you I only trust those who have earned it. You just showed me why." I let the silence hang, then added, "By the way, you and Darren should hurry." "What do you mean?" I checked the tracker again, still active. "I let your little plan play out, but now I'm reporting the bag as stolen to the police, including your names and exact location." "You wouldn't dare." "Oh. But I already have." The trap springs shut 20 minutes after the call ended. The GPS signal stopped moving. They had probably abandoned the car or ditched the bag, thinking that would help them vanish. Amateurs, but I hadn't planned only for betrayal. I had planned for their panic too. I had already submitted an official police report. Theft of a symbolic asset connected to a major business transaction, supported by video evidence of the theft, vehicle license plate info, and a digital statement identifying Ria and Darren as the last people seen with the bag. What many overlook is that even with fake bills inside, the intent to steal and misuse corporate property still qualifies as a serious offense, especially when linked to a high-stakes contract. Since the client's company was also notified, they provided additional statements, elevating it to potential federal corporate fraud territory. This forced law enforcement to respond immediately. Between 10 and 12 a.m. that same day, my lawyer sent me a photo. Darren pinned face down on a police car hood in handcuffs, while Ria stood barefoot in the gravel driveway of the rundown cabin, crying with tears streaming down her face. The message read, "Arrested without resistance, bag recovered, contents verified, charges pending, want to push for felony charges or drop them?" I considered it carefully and smiled. 2 days later, in a police station meeting room, I met with authorities to wrap things up. Ria and Darren were still in custody for questioning. They hadn't been officially charged yet, but the district attorney was preparing. I gave my statement calmly, provided the footage, confirmed the bag belonged to the company, and signed the waiver to reduce the major charges. On one condition, the arrest records would stay public. No sealing, no special treatment. Ria's lawyer begged during the mediation session. "She'll lose everything if this stays on record," he said. "She has no previous offenses." "Consider her future," I leaned back. "Oh, I am considering it," I replied icily. "The next man who meets her will search her name online and learn exactly who she is." He looked surprised. "She stole from her own husband and ran away with his friend. She deserves a second chance." "When she earns it," I said. I signed the final documents, stood up, and looked him straight in the eyes. "Tell her good luck starting from scratch." Rebuilding without her, Ria was released on bail a few days later. No formal charges were filed for now, but the harm was already irreversible. As soon as the arrest photos appeared on local gossip websites, her life started falling apart. Friends disappeared. She was fired from her job the very next morning. Social media exploded with comments calling her a thief, a backstabber, and a gold digger. But the hardest blow came from her own family. I hadn't contacted them at all. I didn't need to, the internet handled it. Her mother emailed me a brief message. "John, we're truly sorry. We had no idea. She's not the daughter we raised. You didn't deserve any of this. We support whatever decision you make." I didn't respond. I was already moving forward. In the meantime, I rebuilt steadily and powerfully. The $10 million deal closed smoothly. My client, impressed by how I managed the attempted theft, introduced me to 3 new major business partners. My company expanded into 2 new markets within weeks. Even better, I turned Ria's betrayal into fuel for my personal brand. I wrote a LinkedIn post titled, "What I Learned About Business After Someone Close Tried to Take Everything." It went viral, not by naming anyone, but because the lesson was powerful. Protect your success, even from those closest to you. It brought speaking invitations, book offers, and even a documentary proposal. Meanwhile, Ria struggled to rebuild a reputation that was never truly solid. Then came the final strike. A package was delivered to her new address. I had used a contact to locate her modest one-bedroom rental in a modest neighborhood, a huge step down from our former luxury apartment. Inside the package, one single fake bill, a flash drive containing the security footage, and a handwritten note in bold black ink. "This is what you took. This is what you lost. This is why you'll never matter to me again." No rage, no threats, just final closure. The kind that feels like a quiet, unbreakable seal. The ultimate cost. A year went by. It's amazing how fast life improves when you remove the toxic parts. I was no longer the man who blindly handed over his trust in a leather bag. No longer the husband quietly hoping his wife would choose him over someone else. I had become sharper, wiser, and stronger in every meaningful way. The company I built from nothing now operated from 3 new offices. I had assembled a small, loyal team of people who valued trust because they had earned it and never looked for easy ways out. I even began dating again, carefully and without pressure. Nothing extravagant, nothing rushed, because I no longer needed anyone to make me whole. I had rebuilt myself completely. Then, on the exact 1-year anniversary of the deal, I received a message from a burner account. No name, no picture, just words. "You won, I lost everything. Hope you're happy." I didn't need to ask who sent it. I looked at the message for a moment, not with anger, not even with joy, just quiet reflection. Then I replied, "You didn't lose everything, Ria. You simply never earned anything real to begin with." I blocked and deleted the message. I never heard from her again. Epilogue. Sometimes the greatest revenge isn't about destroying others. It's about constructing something magnificent from the ruins they left behind, letting them watch helplessly from far away, unable to ever return. And when they finally understand what they gave up, they don't see any path back. They only see the door shutting forever. Was this revenge completely justified? Share what you would have done in the comments. Like this story, forward it to anyone who needs this kind of strength, and follow for more powerful stories of betrayal and justice. Because here, every deception meets its consequence and every betrayal finds its reckoning. Stay sharp, stay strong, and stay tuned.